rewards by at least. I can't tell, but it seems like when you capture, you have an increased chance of rare rewards, because that's how I got my Rathalos mantle. No, I think you can get everything. The game tells you that some things are carve only, but there's nothing I've never gotten from capture. Like when you check in the hunter notes, there are some things that they'll say captures, quest rewards and capturing. But I feel like that thing is talking about like possible rewards you can get from the quest, like not the normal end of screen like capture rewards. The quest rewards like are standard, and then there are some things that you can get from carving. But then capturing is different. Capturing has its own special rewards. The way you know how when you break parts, the rewards are separate, where you get something specifically for breaking a part. That's how capture rewards is. They are separate from the quest rewards. So everything you're seeing in that rewards there is what you can get from the quest rewards. Then the carves are things that you can get from carving. But breaking parts and capturing is different. It's basically like breaking parts guarantees something like that, but then capturing there's also a chance that you can get it. That's how it's possible to get things like Rathalos Ruby or Rathalos or Anjanath Gem from capturing. There's a small chance, but you can still get it. Also, by the way, I realized when you do the Steamworks, if you hold down R2, it doesn't like mean that it does everything automatically for you. All holding down R2 does, it just guesses X square triangle. Every single guess is going to be X square triangle. So there's a chance you'll be right, there's a chance you'll be wrong. But like, yeah, it guesses the same pattern every time. It doesn't just do it automatically for you. Like, it doesn't guess the correct thing for you. Yeah, that's what you use to craft like mantles. Meld mantles. I'm ready, by the way. Wait, hold on, let me restock items. That's what you use to. Yeah, because like there's basically a 1 in 3 chance that you will be correct by holding down R2. So it's just an easier way to do it, because like you're still, I mean, it's an easier way to farm like items you actually need, like all the max potions and shit. Like, it's a good way to farm them. And me and Sadiq forgot the screamer pause when we actually first fought it. It's like it was no fun, because this master rank Diablos just keeps on digging, and he hip checks as soon as he comes out. Like, there's no waiting period. His openings are way smaller. Like, his openings are so small now. Didn't work. I hope you're not using a fire hunting horn against this guy. Peace out. Don't tell me you're using a fire hunting horn against this guy. Okay. Because he's very clearly resistant to fire. Still haven't cut off his tail before, that's all. This guy's like a Dark Souls boss. Most of his attacks, you're supposed to roll through them, like roll into them. They're not easy. Like, if you're fighting it for the first time, it's not obvious. Finally rolled it. Oh, I found the safe zone for that attack. The safe zone is like, if he's facing 12 o'clock, the safe zone is like 5 p.m. like to his head. That's the only place that there's no hitbox on that attack. Going down. Oh, nobody ever lets me finish my mouse. Let's go. I don't know if you can cut it off yet, but I haven't tried. Oh yeah, you definitely can. Yeah, because it's too integral to his design. You can't. Yeah, I recently discovered that you can flinch him out of that attack. So you have to do enough damage to flinch. If you don't do enough damage to flinch, it's very, very painful. That's healing, that's healing, that's healing. Let me see if they really buff the drop rates of some of these rewards. See, that's the thing with this game, like, it rewards very aggressive play, but you need good weapons to play aggressively, because that's the only way you can get flinches. Oh, I got the mantle, nice. Like, if we're using like bad weapons, all that attack pressure we're doing, we wouldn't have done enough to flinch him. So a lot of moves, you'd have. Yeah, the way elemental damage works in this game, like if you're using raw, you're actively missing out. It's not like before, because before the elemental values were so low. The elemental values were so low that you could use raw and still do more damage, just mainly because the raw was scaled so high. Like everything raw was scaled so high that before some element could catch up, the elements had to be like ridiculously high. But like now, the way they've scaled the raw weapons, like the elemental weapons are catching up. Like even something with like much less raw because of the elements, it still does more. Like even something with 1 star weakness, like I was fighting Azura Thalos with like an ice weapon, and ice is 1 star weakness, and I was still doing more than like a raw weapon that had higher raw than the ice weapon, just purely because the element was there, which is how the game is supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. So that's the Flaming Teaser Plus. So basically between the Blue Rathalos and the Glavenus, they have almost the same stats, but the Glavenus has more elemental and the Blue Rathalos has more affinity. And this set I'm using is a Crib Boost set. I have to test them in the training pool. So I think the fairest way to test this would be 1142. Let me try that again just to make sure. 541. 564. That one every hit's critted. Interesting. So just 564. The longsword with purple sharpness. The longsword with purple sharpness. Is that what you mean? No, like which weapon are we talking about? Oh, okay. Wow, 476. I didn't allow. 536. 529. 538. Wow, this is so close. $539. 469. Well, I got bad crit RNG with that test. It's not looking good for this thing. 547 whenever he hits crits. Let me test it on a loadout with max fire attack. So max fire attack is 360 on this thing, eh? Oh. $560. 578 when everything crits. 544. So this thing hits max 460. So you would expect with the new elemental scaling, this one should do better. $561. Wow. 554. Yeah, we should probably have an arena for Glavenus because we just captured. 575. Yeesh. 578. 544. This is really close. There's no even crisp boost on this loadout and it still affects it that much. 542. 566. 556. 574. 518. Damn. But they have the same one. Okay, I think the fairest way to test this would literally be with like a naked build with no decorations, no charm, nothing. Because this is getting like way too close. Like I actually physically can't tell. Nothing on the weapon, just my naked body, and I haven't eaten. So this should just be the pure, we call this training. Testing. Probably by the end of the trees they will. $460. 425. 417. I mean, it stands to reason that most things will fight to be weak to fire because it's a frost map. But even still, I mean, Tigrex and Narakuga both weak to thunder, Brachydios weak to water. There have been a lot of ice and water things, but the problem with this game is that there aren't too many good water weapons. Because there's only, up till now, there's only one water monster. $428. 429. 428. So like undoubtedly the extra fire attack is translating, which makes sense. Is translating the extra 60 fire attack is translating to an extra about 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 wait, am I running crazy? About an extra 10 to 11, about an extra 10 to 11 damage. Low rank Jira. Master rank Jira. Okay. I need parts too. I'll just follow you. All these monsters with brackets is really annoying. Just post anything. You need this stuff. I don't really have anything pressing I need right now. Mainly other than testing. It's just the issue is with the build I'm using that has crit boost. Even if something has better stats, if it crits less, I'm still losing out on damage. Like something that crits more will still outperform it. That's the problem. That's 550. You just have to do optionals if you want low rank materials, man. That's what I do. Because, I mean, in terms of time, it's still faster to do optionals than just look for low rank investigations all over again. And before you find a good one, like that's still more time plus loading screen again. Might as well just do the optional. Because those low rank parts, they're hardly anything special anyway, and you always only need a few of them. Never like you need gems or plates or anything. So 550. 553. I have to get lucky with crits. 538, not good enough. 555. Well, because before softening, it's 908. Before softening, it's 70%. After softening, it's 90%. And problem is the other hits. If they have the same raw, because it's not over the entire course of the hunt I'm going to be doing full DPS combo, just other hits. If I'm losing at one, this is a good problem to have anyway. But why must it only be in the fire? Why must I have so many options for fire and other elements are just like there's one obvious best choice? I mean, at least until we see later things. I mean, when it comes to full ground journal, there's no competition between it and Tobi Karachi because Tobi Karachi has both white sharpness and higher elements. So the higher round full ground journal just doesn't even matter.
You're doing great.
Have you posted? Okay. Let's see. Is it at level 6? If you remove level 6, if you calculate it, it should be the same thing. I mean, basically, what it means, if you remove level 6, it doesn't reduce. No, that doesn't make sense. If you remove level 6, it should go down, because the way they calculate is there's a bonus of 10%. And there's a bonus of 20%. That just means that the bonus of 10% and bonus of 20% round to the same number. What's the base fire attack on that weapon? The base fire attack is 240. What's 10% of 240? Abi was... That doesn't make sense. Hold on. Are you on fire? Are you on level 5 now? Level 5 is 360. Level 6 is 390. No, it was 390. The way it's a formula. is a formula that they calculate it with. The level 3 is plus 100 to your fire attack flat. So if you have something that is base 240, if you take it to level 3, it's going to be 340. Then level 4 is a bonus of 5% of on top of that 100. So I mean, it doesn't. If you can face both, you can. But if you can't, it's better to just go all in on attack. Basically, if you want to calculate it, you find 5% of your fire attack, and then you add 100 to that. So that's what level 4 means. So sometimes it might not be worth pushing the extra level because the rounding makes it the same. That's why it's better at higher base levels to push it to level 6. Because if something is like base 240, 5% of 240 is 0.05 times 240. That's 12. So 252 plus 100. That's 352. Rounds down to 350. And then 10% of 240 is 24. So 240 plus 24 is 264. 240 plus 24. Yeah, that's 264 plus 100, 364. Rounds down to 360. So 340 versus 360 is a difference of 2 true elements. Whether that's worth it to you or not, your decision. And then 20% of 240, 0.2 times 240, that's 48. 240 plus 48, that's 288. 288 plus 100, that's 388. Rounds up to 390. So that's the cap. And it's showing orange because it's telling you that it's rounding up. It physically can't go higher than that. If it rounded down, it wouldn't be orange. But rounding up means that that's the highest theoretical limits that weapon can go to. Not that they are capping it. It's just showing you that you physically can't take it any further. If you rounded down, it would have been white. The reason why for lower base elements is not what's pushing it to level 3 is because the percentages keep getting smaller. But the higher base elements, the more worth it is to push. So if you get a weapon that has like 400 base elements, you definitely want to push it to level 6 because 20% of 400 is a very, very high number. 20% of 400 is 80, which rounds up. So 480 plus 100 is 580. But compared to something like maybe base 180, 20% of 180 is a very small number. It's 36. I mean, yeah, basically, like, the game doesn't do a good job of explaining those things to you. So it's from watching their video that I even understood these things properly. Because before, because before I met their videos, I used to do basically the same thing they used to do, like all the spreadsheets and like testing in the training area, and then they have more resources than me, and but yeah, like the game, because honestly, the average player doesn't really need to understand how the information works. I mean, understanding how it works will help you play better, but like as far as you need to know if the number is bigger, better for you. But like just helps you make smarter, more informed decisions. So like if a weapon is 180, 180 plus 100 is going to be 280. If a weapon is 180, 20% of 180 is 180 plus 36, 216. 216 plus 100 is 316, rounds down to 310. So 280 versus 310, not that big of a difference. But something with high base elements is always worth it. I've even I've been forgetting to use it. I'm so used to just running. I'll wait for speedrunners to see which way is actually faster, running or using the particle ride. Seems like running is still faster. I mean, it still depends because the thing with speedruns is that they are not really trying to fight it like normal, like that, like the way people fight it normally. I was trying to do a flinch shot, but it's fine. Remember, it's captured, so don't go too crazy and wait, is this low rank? Okay, it's master rank. Nice. That was such bullshit. He was definitely. That's the thing, like That's the thing, and the flint shots too. People don't shouldn't forget about the flint shots because it's literally a free knockdown that the game gives you, and it's something that they might decide to nerf later, just like how they nerf flash pods early in the game because people were using it to farm Kushaladara. You could just flash him and finish the hunt so easily. Flint shots right now are really powerful, but people don't want to take advantage. I joined SOSs and people are wasting valuable flint shots to weaken with their weapon that drops slinger ammo. Guys even weaken in one hit and people want to weaken instead of flinching. Oh, I thought it was facing that wall. How did I get paralyzed but he didn't? Yeah, you have to use this. You have to use this one against Acidic Raven or Sha. So many good songs on this one. You're using. You can capture. Recovery speed plus.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you have to use this against acidic Glavenus. I have a feeling he'll be weak to fire too, because all the subspecies we fought so far, they have been weak to their original elements. Viper Tobikarachi was weak to... He was weak to thunder. Kora Pokipoki was weak to... Kara Pokipoki was weak to fire. Abi was the same. Was weak to poison too. And then Nightshade Palumu was still weak to the same things basically. This monster solid bone has been kind of rare to get. I don't want to waste it on this bone charge blade that I only made for testing. Let me see what charge blades I can make still. Yeah, you should have the arena quest now. I have a thunder charge blade. I might actually, I'll just make a bunch of bone charge blades. Let me just see. So let me just see the trees I need to enter. I need to enter Raphaelos. I need to enter Raphaelos for fire. I need to enter Diablos for acidic Glavenus. I need to enter what else do I need to enter? And it's power elements too. Nether candle. I need to enter. That's all I need to enter. Interesting. Okay. Ah, that was a mistake. Why am I taking this to Diablos? Abi? I just need to meld the Wyvern gem. And I need 2 more Master Rank Diablos ones. I'll burn that bridge when I cross it. As long as I have Fire Thunder, I'm good with charge blades. I don't need to make too many. Are you fucking serious? I ran out of medium monster bones. Yeah, monster bone M, which is probably a low rank reward. That's fine. I won't be able to make the barrier charge blade for a while just because materials. Oh, it actually is in the iron tree. I might be able to make it. Ice elements. Let me see. Nope. I need low rank Legiana stuff. Let me roll it back, I beg. I mean, yes, because there's no point of stacking artillery, but then at the same time, your fire damage can't crit, so you have to just stack elemental attack. What you need for, you just need to make the files have. Yes, I mean you still need affinity for your normal attacks, yes, but when it comes to the SAED, you need yeah. So that's why the Kiar Ice was so powerful, because the ice damage was so high. That's basically all. That's all the files skill from your elemental damage. It was just pure element damage. I mean, I'm already using ice, so you might as well make water. But technically, it depends on what the stats are saying. Let me just look at the tree real quick. I was actually the only water charge blade is the only water charge blade is the Giratodos, because there's no Coral Poki Poki tree. So the Deep Terror. I was just on charge blade now. That was what I was trying to make. That I needed Monster Bone M, and I rolled it back. I have a Rathalos charge blade. I have the Rathalos and the. I was trying to take it to the Diablos tree, but then I needed something, so I'll probably have to forge that or just take it to a tree that I can make stuff in. No, I didn't finish the bone tree because I needed Monster Bone M. I probably used them for melding in the past, that's why. Because I have 115 of the L. I wanted, because the acidic Glavenus tree is from Diablo, so I wanted to take it to the one just before acidic Glavenus, so when I fight acidic Glavenus I'll just upgrade it immediately. That's what I've been doing since. I mean, I'm just guessing because there's nothing else it can be. It's coming from Diablos, and I know that acidic Glavenus weapons have high roll, and I mean there's no other paralysis weapon that could. I don't know, that's the thing. I'm not 40s, I'm just guessing. All I know about acidic Glavenus is that the weapons have high roll, and this final form acidic I know it's acidic Glavenus because the final thing on the tree needs Glavenus mantle to make, and there's nothing else that can give Glavenus mantle except acidic Glavenus, so it's definitely it. Yeah, I mean the Giratorius is still fine. The only problem is the blue sharpness, but if you have handicraft, it's not a problem. I know the Glavenus legs give free handicraft. They're actually really good. I actually made I actually made a really good I made a really decent, I won't say good, a really decent charge blade build that uses the Glavenus sets bonus, and basically for elemental attacks, if you're looking at this stream, I can see it now. I can just equip it. It's basically you have free choice for the helmets, whatever skills you want to put on the helmets. Yeah, that's the final form to Wikirachi charge blade. I just had excess material, so I made it. The handicraft is coming from the. Yeah, the cap is not the cap, but that's the highest you can take it. You see, the base element is 330, and 20% of 20% of 330 is 66. So 330 plus 66, that's 396, and then 396 plus 100 is 496, and then it rolls up to, it rolls up, it rounds up to 500. That's why it's not orange. Yeah. If you had rounded, it is. That's the old Maximize basically. Why? No, level 5 is the old Maximize. Level 4 is the new one. Level 4 is the one that after your stamina is full, it activates and then it stays for a few seconds and then it deactivates again. I mean, some people might like that. I mean, I like that it gives you the choice anyway. The set bonus only gives you up to level 4. And then if you want the old Maximize back, you can complete it. If you don't want it, you can use it as level 4. That's nice of them. Yeah, but me, I prefer the old Maximize. That's why I completed it. I mean, technically, if I wanted purple sharpness, I could just remove the... That's why I made the build like this. I could just remove the elemental attack charm, stop at level 3, and then put handicraft charm to get to purple. But then I would have to test on training pole to see which does more between the element and the purple sharpness. I mean, not... I forgot you're not on SSD. I mean, I can't... It wouldn't take long to test. It's just a matter of doing one combo with the same build and seeing which one has the higher average DPS. I mean, I could just use like the sword slash combo or something to get to... It didn't even occur to me that this weapon could reach purple because I've been playing at an angle to my TV. I'm not facing it head on. So I didn't even notice that like last bit of purple that was showing that you could clearly see. So just on the surface, it doesn't seem like it's going to be, because I know that this might... Okay, that didn't crit. That's embarrassing. So this sword charge attack was doing this did 220 on purple sharpness. And when I removed the purple sharpness for white sharpness and put the shock charm, that same sword charge attack okay, it didn't crit that time. It still didn't crit. Okay, so it did 211. So that's an average of 9. So purple sharpness translates to about 9 damage. Let me test other moves. 56, 23, 56, 23, 56, 23, 48, 23, 56, 23, and then getting back purple sharpness. Fifty-seven. Okay, hold on. 4919, 4919, 5719, 5719, 5719, 5719, 5719, 5719, 5719. Interesting. So what I'm understanding is that elemental scales way more with purple sharpness than raw does. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I just tested the same attack with purple and white sharpness, and I could see that the raw part of that attack only got +1. On white, it was 56 and then 23 with the elemental portion. And then with purple it was 57 and 27, I think. Um, Wait, this is weird. So with purple sharpness, your basic triangle attack weak slash does 49.19, 57.19, 57.19, 57.19. Fifty-seven nineteen, 57.19, 57.19, 57.19. And if I go back to white sharpness, if I go back to white sharpness, so 57.19, 48.23, 56.23, 56.23, 56.23, 56.23. So you see, basically, purple sharpness will lose me elemental damage because if I go to purple sharpness, I'm going from 500 to 430, and there are some particular elemental hit zones. If I go to purple sharpness, I will lose damage in some places and gain it in other places, but the losses will be heavier than the gains, because even though I'm on white sharpness, the fact that the element is higher means that even if the purple sharpness multiplier is higher than the white sharpness multiplier, there being less elements is going to make its hits softer. So basically, even if I am on white sharpness, that 500 thunder is a bigger component of my damage than purple sharpness will be with less elements. You get, like, if you're weighing between having more element or more sharpness, more element to be better, at least on this one weapon. I can't speak for all the weapons, but on this particular weapon, I can test it on IG too anyway, because I mean, this is the only build so far that has been able to get me to purple sharpness. So let me just test it. Where is the Kadachi Fury? Can this even get to purple? So this has max of 500 also. And I'll just test the same thing. Actually, with max mites, this thing should get me to 75%. So looks like all the Tobi Karachi weapons are the same. Okay, that's not a good way to test. Let me try this. 114, 94, 114, 114, 114. Was that 111? I think that was 111. 111, yep. I was hitting the sweet spot before. 114. 94. 111. Okay, so 111. And then with purple sharpness. So now, that's why it's good to test on different weapons, because I could literally get something different here. So now I'm going from 500 to 420. But I have purple sharpness. Let me see what it is now. Oops. What the hell? Oh wait, I was pressing the wrong button. 118. 115, okay. Yeah, I did the same. 115. 115. 118. 17. So you see, purple sharpness is translating to like about 4 extra raw damage, which is actually worth it here because I don't have any moves that have like only elemental. You know, Charge Blade has some moves where there is no raw damage at all, it's just pure elements. So it's worth it to have more elements there. But something like Insect Glaive, some moves, elemental damage probably makes up a different proportion, but like it's probably worth it to get to purple if you can here, even with less elements. That was 551. That's around the same thing as the fire weapons I was just testing. Wow. That's 524. This is actually good because the white sharpness is going to run out. I mean, the purple is going to run out organically, and I don't have to switch builds. That's 561. But I think the last hit was white. I need to retest that. And then with white, that's 513. Wow, that's a big drop off. No, that's the thing. That's the thing. Honestly, this is the fun part for me, because for me, what I play this game for, or rather, the meta. What I was about to say is that the meta game of this game is seeing where I'm missing out on damage when I do a hunt. Like if I do a hunt with a particular build, and I'm like, okay, that hunt felt a bit long, and I have to go back and say, okay, where was I missing out on damage? And these tiny things like this, like seeing, okay, is one extra elemental attack or one extra critical eye worth it? Like that's the fun part for me. See 504, that's a big drop off from the purple numbers we're seeing. You see how much it adds up as you do more attacks. Like the difference genuinely adds up. Like that's so crazy. The previous combo was 504 with full white sharpness, and then now same build, same chance of critting. That was 527. So a difference of almost 23 damage just from the sharpness is crazy. That was 560. So you see, this build is interesting because it does have the sharpness management of the Nagakuga, but what the Nagakuga build has is sharpness management and crit boost. So now, even though I was hitting those numbers with the high elements, I only have 360 elements now, and I only have white sharpness again. But compared to 560, 482. Oh, I didn't wait for it to expire. But a lot of his didn't crit in that time. You see 556. I mean, you're losing out on extra 30 minutes of extra 30 seconds of charge shield and extra file explosion on SAED. I actually like the way they've made these armors. Like you're not. You have 1 point in guard, no guard up. A charge shield is the same as guard level 1, yes. Yeah, so critting luck affects it a lot, obviously, but yeah, that's crazy. These builds basically have the same EFR from just this quick testing I'm doing, because basically you can play this game and either decide that, okay, I want Razor Sharp, and that's what I'm going to build my builds around. I want the Nagakuga says bonus. I want Razor Sharp. Or you can say I want Max Mites. I want the affinity. But you can't have both. That's the nice thing. And for me, that's what is ruined by making, yeah, it's like an opportunity cost. Like the thing with Jackin that made Jackin annoying was that you could fit everything inside Jackin. Was one armor piece, you could fit every single skill you could ever want, and it made the rest of the game Yeah, it made the rest of the game obsolete. It made it redundant. There was no point of wearing anything else. If you wore anything else, it felt like you were losing house damage. The nice thing now is that by locking this maximize behind the SS bonus now, anybody that wants maximize level 5 is going to have to wear Glavenus. Anybody that wants Razor Sharp, or that rather true Razor Sharp, is going to have to wear the Nagakuga SS bonus. And that's why me personally, I don't want them to make all these SS bonuses into decorations, because that's what cheapens the game and makes this kind of thing pointless. Because oh, I can just wear whatever I want and put the decoration on. It's like what makes the old games fun was that you couldn't actually fit everything inside World Builder. You had to decide what you wanted, and then you build for that. Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it like that's what makes it rewarding too. And that's what makes it so customizable, where you can say, okay, I want to have this, I want to prioritize this, I want to prioritize sharpness, I want to prioritize affinity, I want to prioritize flexibility. You can make that choice. No, it doesn't. It's only when you're sliding from a elevation like ground-based elevation. Hey, that's even true. I forgot that this build has affinity sliding, and that basically makes this testing so easy because I can get over 100% affinity by sliding. So now all my hits are going to crit. I mean, just until it expires. So that was 569 when everything crits. Oh, I can actually test those fire weapons properly now because of the affinity sliding. That is nice. So same roll, but different elements. Let's see. I mean, to be honest, you only need as much handicraft that gets you to purple. Oh, okay, yeah. 566. I mean, the way they've designed this game, stacking affinity is always going to be better than stacking raw. Because there's so many ways to get raw in this game, even before anything. So, what was... Okay, I'm coming. Let me just test this one thing. 566 was the damage to beat. $575. Interesting. So the extra 60 fire translates to about 9 more damage. 575 minus 566. Yeah, that's 9 more damage. Interesting. I don't think 9 more damage is worth. Maybe until I unlock augmenting and I can put health regen and affinity on that weapon. That's when it will. But the thing is, I can also put health regen and affinity on the other weapon. And if I want, I can put health regen and attack on that weapon and make it so I can actually. Yeah, that's the tough one. It's going to have to come down to the end of the tree. Whichever one has, whichever one has a better final form, is the one that's going to go on that slot. But yeah, what are we fighting again? Okay. More. Ever since I unlocked this rarity 11, I've been using this ice build for everything. Everything is just weak to ice right now. Oh, I can't go to us. Okay. I think Sadiq should be on soon. Because it's 9 right now.
doing great.
Let me see what my wish list is looking like now. You know what? I think I might have to farm Nagakuga just a little bit. No, like later, because I'm seeing that this final form Nagakuga weapon has natural purple and a lot of it, along with decent raw and good affinity. So that would be a good thing to test with too, in terms of like how viable raw weapons are. Because if elemental weapons are finding it difficult to reach purple, and that Nagakuga weapon has natural purple, then that could be another factor too in determining. I feel like if you capture, you can still capture an arena and still get decent rewards comparable to investigations. I mean, it all depends, honestly. Like, if you're diligent with it, honestly, what is the reward that you need? What is the reward that you need? If you need parts from it, then just fight it in arena, because you still get. I mean, if you need many things, then you might as well do investigations. But I'm just saying, like, if you just need one, if you just need random parts for like one weapon, then like any hunts can get you those parts. Like, there's nothing I've so far. Oh, if it's mantles, then investigations, obviously. I'm just saying, there's nothing I've needed to fight more than like 3 times so far to get everything I needed. You need 2 mantles. That's not only. That's a lot of farming potentially. Because I still don't know how rare mantles are. I mean, I've gotten them, but they haven't been dropping like that. You see, Butoros 5 times, Bambaro 5 times, Viper 3 times, Nightshade 3 times, Coral 3 times, Barrios 4 times, Nakuga 4 times, Galvanos 5 times, Tigrex 5 times, Brachydios 5 times, Legiana once, Anjana 3 times, Ebony Underground 3 times. See, there's nothing I've fought more than 5 times, and I've gotten everything I've needed for like all the upgrades so far. So it's not like, oh my god, the grind is so terrible. Like, and most of them I only captured them like, in fact, that Glavenos, when I fought him those extra like 2 or 3 times, it was purely for fun. Like me and Sari just doing the arena. Like, there was nothing I needed. The things that I've actually needed stuff from have been like Azura Thalos. Okay, it doesn't count the master rank hunt separately, that's the thing. But like in terms of master rank, I've needed Barrioth upgrades. I've only fought it 4 times, and I have the Barrioth tree to rarity 10. It's only Elder Dragon parts I'm waiting for now to upgrade it, because that's obviously what's remaining. Nagakuga, same thing, but I need to fight it one more time just because I still need parts from it. But I might get all the parts I need, because the parts I need is just like 111 remaining. Let me see. I need 1 lash, 1 mantle. That might take a little while. And then 2 full Ganjana claws, so nothing crazy. Yeah. I mean, you never know. I got my first Rathalos mantle from an arena quest. I SOS the random Rathalos arena quest, and in the rewards mantle was there. I wasn't even trying to get a mantle, I was just wanted to farm like random parts to make my second Rathalos weapon. I was going mantle. Okay. And all of this is making our master rank increase in the background too, so that when they remove the cap, it will be something high. because there's lots of busy work to do in between hunts. Yeah, like I was actually doing stuff like it's just there's so much investment that goes into making a build. You don't want to have any waste. Basically just looking for a job. I have an interview tomorrow, funny enough. Yeah, I mean I'm here on what amounts to a work permit basically, so like a year and then I can extend it for 2 years if I want. But I have to find a job first, that's the thing. I have until like I read that they're increasing it to longer than 4 months. Yeah. Thing is I don't want to go back to school. Yeah, it increases the stamina or the attack depending on which one you use. And the Glavenus weapon gives you both, which is like nice. You know you can transition from mount to clutch claw if you need to for some reason. See, there's still a hitbox on top of him. I was going to say, like, how far Boulder. See, being aggressive. How much damage did each file do on that attack? Your mic is really low. I can barely hear you. What do you say? Oh, okay. Yeah. Just talk a normal voice. I can usually hear you like your normal voice. Oh, okay. That was a mistake. I should not have dodged backwards. Finally. I was just waiting for him to turn around. Yeah, it was 8 minutes. But you see 2-player difficulty as well. When it's 3 players, it has health for 4 people. Me and Sadiq have been getting sub-turns for a while. I only healed once in this one. Might get it from rewards. I mean, that's not one of the rarer ones. The rare one is like Mantle and then like Hard Fang. But as long as you break parts, you guarantee those things. I mean, Hellshell is probably a break parts guarantee. Yeah, I got Hellshell for Break His Back. I have 7 of them. And that's after making a bunch of Glavenus materials like the armor and other things. It's because if you don't use this wall, you're literally
You're
handicapping
doing great.
yourself. Like the hunt will take longer if you don't do those things, like knocking them into walls and softening. No, but I still do it a lot of times from the ground too. The L2 one's actually riskier because most of the time monster is doing an attack. Most of the times like Clutch Claw is from sheathing and running around and waiting for him to finish what he's doing. And then as soon as the animation ends, I just Clutch Claw. Like if there was a way to measure it, I'd probably play this game like 45% with my weapon sheathed. I'm sure even if I use sword and shield, I'll still be sheathing to use items, even though I don't have to. Let me use bathroom real quick. If Sadiq comes on, just invite him. see why I hate leaving my room? You go outside, people start sending you.
I wonder.
Peace out.